really cool. Like I was able to meet Cameron Diaz. I freaked out at that. Yeah.
Did she have cum in her hair?
Oh, come on.
What?
Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of the Careful Boys, where today we are so honored to have Tway the Babe.
Oh, wow.
Question for you, Tway. You've done a lot of amazing things. What is the by and far coolest thing that you've ever worked on?
Ooh. Dang,
It's hard to pick.
that's a hard question.
Feel free to list them all so that we can subtle brag.
But I think opening up the restaurant has to be like the coolest thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's the restaurant for people that are watching?
My restaurant is called Didi and it's located in West Hollywood.
That's also not just opening a restaurant. That's like you opened a restaurant on hard mode. Like you opened it up in like one of the most expensive, like affluent districts for something that they don't even already have.
Yeah, it's incredible when I'm like driving to work and I'm like on that street. I look at the houses on the hills and then I look at like all the restaurants there and I'm like, wow, I'm driving to my restaurant. It's really cool. It never gets old.
It's automatically being held at a higher standard.
Yeah, because it's not like in a strip mall, like in North Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, or
And
like
it's an experience.
or like
too.
Hawthorne or something. You know, like it's it's right here in West Hollywood.
Yeah, and it's like a place that doesn't really like serve Vietnamese food at that scale.
Yeah.
And so like I'm very proud to be able to do that. And like, you know, like how often do you really see like a family of Asian people walking down West Hollywood to have Vietnamese food?
Yeah, it's like elevating it and sharing it with the world.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But I do picture a gay Vietnamese couple though going to get some.
Oh, absolutely, all the
Because
time.
it's West Hollywood.
Hell yeah, dude.
All the time?
All the time.
Is Didi like go?
D? Yeah.
D? Alright, that's pretty
Because I
cool.
say, when I speak to my friends, I try to incorporate as many Vietnamese words as possible, just so they can like get used to it. And so when I was in Vietnam, 2 years ago, I just kept saying D, and everyone like kind of knew what it meant by the end of the trip. And so I was like, that's a cool name.
That is a good
And
name.
so when we were trying to name the restaurant, it was in between Lucky You or Didi. And I just felt like Lucky
good.
You was just like too generic Asian.
What about Golden Dragon Restaurant?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Vietnam #1, man.
What about Golden Dragon Massage Restaurant?
Didi was the name of my dog.
Really?
Yeah, but it was Didi for Dodger Dog because I traded Dodger tickets for her.
That's cute.
Dodger dog, cool.
Speaking of, what was like the hardest thing that you hurdle that you had to get through to open that restaurant, and then also what was like maybe the first true moment of like euphoria for you?
Ooh, I think the hardest thing about opening up Didi, every part of it has been really exciting, but I think like sharing it with the world and like getting that negative feedback, it almost felt as if like, holy shit, like am I doing this wrong, you know? But then when that moment passed and I really started to see that like there are regular people that are coming in here multiple times a week, you know, and like they actually enjoy it, and like have to be able to host my family in here. My dad just saw it for the first time the other day and he like almost teared up, and so I was just like, you know, like those moments like just made it all worth it, because even though like there's like noise, it's just noise at the end of the day, and it's like the fulfilling part is like knowing that there's actually people that enjoy it.
When you're saying like negative feedback, in hindsight, is that like because there was like a lot of negative feedback, or is it because like you're so close to something and so personal that even like one out of like 1,000 comments is the thing that gets stuck with you at the end of the night, you know what I mean?
Of course, because that's my baby. That's what I've poured so much of my energy and my effort into, that I was just so like, you know, like protective of it, and it's almost like somebody talking shit about your baby, you know? So you feel a way about it, but then at the end of the day, it's like there's nothing that I can really do to persuade you unless you come
They're not
in
opening up a shop either, so
unless you like come in and like have it yourself, you know, like there's nothing that I can really do to, like, I've already proven myself by opening up this restaurant.
That's my favorite thing about it, was that when certain people were questioning like why the price point is where it's at, but your response was, why doesn't Vietnamese food deserve this?
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah.
That's like you don't see it, but you should. But like that's the thing, like you have to do it for it to be real.
Exactly. Like somebody has to do it, because if you don't do it, a white person will.
But that's how our restaurant name works too. You can say Didi, like go to the restaurant, or if you don't like it, you be like Didi,
Didi.
like go away.
That means
Go,
go
go.
away? Oh, so it's go both directions?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just depends on how you say it.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Say it.
Well,
There's no difference.
you say it the
Yeah.
same, but the context of how you say it.
It's not like a
the
tone difference?
intention.
No.
Yeah.
Go, do it, demonstrate.
You can be like Didi, or you could be like Didi.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't like this.
Ooh, the second one hurts.
That hurt my
I
feelings.
got kicked out on the second one.
a little scary.
Yeah.
What was the moment of like the first moment of euphoria for you when you're like, fuck, this is really happening?
The opening for sure.
Yeah.
The
that's
opening
fucking
day
gangster.
when like when you work on a project for so long, every part of that project you worked on it separately.
Yeah.
The menu, I worked on it separately. The music, the design, everything was worked on separately. And then once you see it all come together, you hear the music, you smell the food being cooked, you see like the ambiance is just like put all together and everyone is sitting down eating the food. It's like, well, like this is the moment that we all worked for.
Wow.
You know?
It's like when you make a film and you turn it on and everyone's sharing it together.
Yes.
Because now it's work, like it's all operating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys have custom music too?
No, but I curate the playlist, and like when I first submitted the playlist to my partners, they were like, well, I don't really think that people like to listen to T-Pain at 6 p.m. And I was like, you know what? Let's try it for like a week. And the first thing that people would say is like, oh, the music's really nice. Like the music's good. Like I'm vibing out to this.
I really like this Got Rice Bitch song.
That's what she puts on.
No, but it's like I play like 90s R&B.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fire. You can't beat that.
Yeah, and it's a vibe. It's like very warm and romantic in there.
How long did you work on each
what's
phase
that,
for?
It comes in, I don't have an exact time frame. I think overall, like the turnaround for the restaurant was very fast because I signed the paperwork with my partners in October of 2022. And the restaurant was open July 2023.
Whoa.
So it was very quick. Yeah, it was like 1 week I would do one thing, and then another week another thing, and then sometimes I would have to go back and do that other thing again.
Yeah.
Do you have like a dream customer that you would love to host, like to have a table, like
Like a JkNews or something like that.
like someone that you look up to that would come in and just sit and have a meal at your
Yeah, like you run in the back of the kitchen, you're flustered, you're like, everybody fucking figure us out. We got
Dead
this
or
person
alive?
here.
Let's start with alive.
Okay.
Because you were gonna say
Uncle
Anthony. You were gonna say
Roger?
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Uncle Roger
yeah.
comes through and then he's like, okay, give me the fried rice.
No, he'd be like, DD.
That was good. I don't know. Dang, there's so many influential people that I would love to host.
Guy Fieri or something.
Yeah, like that would be sick.
That'd
No,
be sick, yeah.
there's been so many people that's come into the restaurant that I wouldn't even know because it's like the H-Wood crowd, right? They're like celebrities and stuff. Like Gwyneth Paltrow
Whoa.
went to our Lunar New Year celebration. Like she saw like the lion dancing and everything. Like
Was she giving out red envelopes?
no,
and
she
shit?
wasn't, but like
She
it
was
was
giving out pussy
The
candles.
pussy glitter.
Like she was just being just a regular person.
yes.
Like no entourage or anything. She's just her.
It was just her and like one of her friends.
That's so cool.
It's really cool. Like I was able to meet Cameron Diaz. I freaked out at that. Yeah.
Did she have cum in her hair?
Oh come on.
What?
That's an old reference from what movie is that?
Something about Mary.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's been people that I'm like, whoa, like I've gotten to meet you because you're here at my restaurant. Like that's really cool.
Thank you for coming here to eat at my place.
What if like one of your like old instructors from like culinary school was there?
Ooh.
Would that be cool or would
That would
be?
be
He's like blah.
that would be interesting, but I mean it would be cool. I just like didn't have the best experience in culinary school. Yeah, like I think culinary school is I have mixed feelings about it because it's like
Didn't teach you shit.
it taught me like technical stuff, but like I didn't really get to learn how to cook like in a way where it's like seasoning and like how to put your own flavor into it. And I remember specifically like one time that we were doing a Chinese day or something, like where we would cook Chinese food, and the instructor, she was like, oh, you don't need to put white pepper in there. White pepper smells like barnyard. And I was like, whoa, like,
that's rude.
I'm like, that's uncalled for. But
Barnyard.
yeah, like
I've never
it
felt
would
that
be
ever
like
in my
little like passive aggressive comments like those in
Like, don't be using allspice. You want to taste like a Chinese grandma?
yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, it I don't know. If I had to do it all over again, I would probably just have gotten like a job at a restaurant.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Is
Because
there
it's
somebody?
like
Oh, go ahead.
nobody asks you for your do you have a fucking certificate of completion for your you know?
This is true.
yeah.
Yeah, they just go, what are your availabilities?
Yeah.
Can you start tomorrow?
Can you chop? Can
Yeah.
you cook? Like
You just have to prove it, huh?
yeah.
Is there somebody if like they showed up, you would be like the most intimidated by, like the motherfucking food critic in Ratatouille?
Ooh.
Like the rat?
Yeah, who's
The rat.
The food critic.
Oh, I thought you meant the rat.
rat shows up?
Because the rat shows up and he's all like, I don't
Yeah,
like
who
it.
would that be?
I don't know. I don't think I would be because I'm very confident in the food that I serve.
But it could be like, I'm not saying it would be,
Yeah.
but like hypothetically, like it was like your mom or your grandma or some shit. You know what I mean?
Every
Where it's
time
like,
they come in, yes, my
that judgment.
my mom,
Did she tell you?
of course, yeah.
They should try like, oh, you could do this like this or do it like
But
this.
you know what? Recently, she's come in and she's like, "Wow, everything's really good." So like that's a big like pat on the back for me because it's like I usually don't get that. It's
But
usually
is it like, wow, everything's really good? Could fix up these wings a little bit.
Yeah.
no, like she's actually like really enjoying my food now, and so that makes me happy.
What if Mikey Chen comes from Strictly Dumpling?
Oh, that would be really cool. Yeah.
That's Joe's friend. He can make
Yeah, I like him.
Is there anybody you don't want? Like if like R. Kelly was like, I love
Oh,
Yeah.
So
He was
good.
giving you the stamp.
you know, we'll just kind of set his table to the balcony or something, or the.
But you still be dropping ignition in your playlist, huh?
No, I know.
Yeah, you still be dropping ignition. Come on,
You would still seat him? You would still give him a table?
You gotta give him the mafia table in the kitchen, bro. You gotta give him the table in the kitchen where you can eat.
Is there an age limit here?
Is there an age limit here?
I'm just saying things he would ask.
Yeah.
Damn.
She's just like, don't seat him next to the kids.
Oh no.
He might start peeing on everybody.
Oh, whoa.
That's a thing, yeah.
Hey, Ryan, most interesting man in the world. What's the coolest project you ever worked on?
You're asking me? I thought we were all focusing on Tway.
Yeah.
It was just a question. Just a question.
Most interesting? Dang.
Ryan's interesting as fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
So interesting.
No,
I bet you have like 10 things that are all tied.
that are all Thai?
Like tied together. Like
Like time?
kind of like tied for first place. Because there's so many different aspects in your life. I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So come back to me. I didn't know you were gonna ask me anything. I was all geared towards Tway this whole episode.
Hey, I'm the host. I'm allowed to ask you.
What about you then? What's the most interesting you've ever done?
I'm only asking interesting people, so this is an interesting video.
You're interesting. What's
So ask yourself.
He's a noodle salesman.
That is pretty interesting though, that you have a noodle brand.
in
Yeah.
Costco?
I will say, for the sake of this question, actually working on the shoe was probably one of the coolest things I
For
ever.
The
sure.
whole experience.
Yeah,
shit must
because
be
like
crazy.
I think I've never had more mind-blowing moments happen where I was like, "Is this fucking real?"
Wait, with Kinja Bang?
No, the shoe, the
shoes.
shoe.
Air sesh.
With Nike. Like, specifically, the moment that we went up to Nike and performed our first time, this is like 2016 or something like that. We performed for their Tech Awards, which is like an internal award show, celebrating like their new tech advancements and innovations, because Nike innovation is like the heart of blah, 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 right? And so we're like working on the show. We do the show, and then we just hear that some really important people are going to be sitting in the audience. But again, when you're a performer on stage, you know, it's just all black and just lights on you. So you do your thing, and then we're like in the lobby afterwards because people are just networking. So random people are like, "Oh, I work in fashion apparel," or "I worked on the Air Max," you know, blah blah blah. And you know, people giving you like your kudos and stuff. You're like, "Man, this is really really cool." You know what I mean? You're just networking with people that have like changed the game for Nike over the years,
Yeah.
right? And the next thing you know, we get pulled off to the side and they're like, "Hey, we got to take you guys to a meeting." And this wasn't on our schedule at all. And we're like, okay, so everybody put your hors d'oeuvres and whatever the fuck down. Apparently we have a meeting. There's like 10 of us that are doing this show, right? So okay, we start going, and next thing you know, it's in Beaverton in Oregon, so it's really fucking cold at the time.
Yeah.
And we're walking late outside at night, and we're just going through the campus that we got a tour from earlier, and we're like, well, where are we going? We're passing Tiger this, or the Mia Hand this, or blah blah, and we're going down this way. And suddenly we're like walking towards the innovation building, and we go outside there, and then they start handing us NDAs. And they're like, you guys gotta sign these. And we're like, what the fuck meeting is this?
That's gangster.
Paper copy or digital?
Real paper copy.
Was that DocuSign? Or?
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious how they operate over there.
We're just standing out there in the cold. We're signing NDAs. Nobody knows what's going on. Once everybody signs, the last person signs the NDA, we hand it back. Then they're like, okay, you guys are gonna sit down with Tinker Hatfield.
Wow.
And all of us are like, holy fuck.
So was he like hiding in the closet and then like waiting for you guys? And then after you signed it, he goes, finally, you signed it.
No, he didn't tell us. He was in the Winnebago. There's a very like classic Winnebago. It's like a whole story of Nike, because back in the day, like the first running shoes that they ever made, Phil Knight and you know they
keep 'em in the
fucking
closet?
sold them out of a van. They went to like a track and sold out a van. So they have like a Winnebago like cut in half, and that's like the conference room that all the crazy fucking like all the celebrities go there and all this shit, right? Yeah. So we go up there, we have this meeting, and then suddenly this meeting turns into like a deep conversation about dance, about like kind of hitting the tipping point of like why dance should be considered like a sport or whatever the fuck. So it turns into like a random pitch meeting about like why we believe in it, and then by the end of it, I just remember Tinker looking at us and be like, all right, consider the point tipped. And he got excited about it. He's like, I'm gonna work on this shoe.
Wow.
And then we went outside.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
What is fucking
literally
cool
consider
line.
the point tipped.
This guy don't miss, huh?
And so we fucking go outside, and everybody's silent for the first like 3 minutes because nobody knows what happened. We're walking, and then once we like round the corner and are no longer within eyesight of the building, we scream and like huddle up. And we're jumping up and down, and like half the guys are tearing up.
He was outside looking at the window like...
Another dream made. Consider the point tip, whatever he said earlier.
But it was just the craziest feeling. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's insane.
It's like you met Geppetto himself. The mental picture he posts, him coming out. Finally, you signed it, Kinja's baby. Let's get to work.
Now we can get to work.
Like he's on Queer Eye, busts out of a closet or some shit. He's been waiting for them, dude. He's like Willy Wonka, just fucking hiding around the building and shit. He's been waiting for the Kinja's group.
Big reveal.
I know. He's been watching like World of Dance. He's like a fan and shit.
Really funny, bro.
That's insane, though.
That's
to
so
work
crazy.
with Tinker
That's so
Hatfield
cool.
Do you have a picture with them?
Yeah, we have a whole video with him.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
sick.
They have a whole shoe with them, dude.
Yeah, he's wearing the jacket. He's wearing the Kinja's hat. He's holding the shoe.
It's definitely, like, from my perspective to you, it's one of the craziest things to be involved in a shoe for dance with Nike. Like, all of those moving parts is, like, just a funny dream that we've always had for our whole lives. That would even happen. The fact that it was you and Nike and him.
And with Tinker, too? That's crazy.
I feel like you don't talk about it. You should brag about it
insane,
more,
man.
honestly.
It's like a funny
you don't brag
thing.
enough.
You know,
Well, it's because I bring stuff up and then you try to knock it down with some jokes and shit.
Not me, Steve does. I don't do it. I enhance your experience. I say Tinker was like...
I made Tinker gay, so I enhanced it.
Because everybody's talked about that forever. Even all the times that I went to Nike to do work, and we'd go in the thing and we'd be like, how crazy to have a dance shoe. They'd be like, yeah. It's never taken seriously. Like, it never is.
Yeah, it would be crazy. It would be a bad idea, too, when it leaves.
The dichotomy of that though is really interesting because I think the most powerful part about that wasn't necessarily like the product. It was the idea of it.
Yeah.
Right? So like what that did for the younger and upcoming dance generation, I know what we did like moved the needle. It didn't fucking necessarily change the world, but it like helped to change the game. And I believe that was like so powerful. But then the ironic part too is like dancers are so fucking fickle like that too. Everybody has that kind of like what they're trying to do. Yeah. That when you see like another group doing something that maybe like was that funny dream, it's not like everybody rallies and like, let's go support this so that we can uplift the dream and push the thing. It's more like, all right, they did that, I bet. You know what I mean? You just kind of sit there thinking about like what your angle is.
Can I say something, Anthony Lee? If I was an opposing dance crew and I saw that you guys had your own sneakers, I'd fucking hate you guys. I'd be like, man, fuck these fools. These guys are whack.
And you know, pioneers never actually reap the rewards. It's some third generation ungrateful fuck that's gonna come out with a dance shoe and make fucking billions, dude. That's the way it's gonna work.
Timing is everything. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and you're gonna be a great grandpa, like in your fucking dancer cane, and then you're gonna be like, man, I could have been me. And here's this little TikTok motherfucker making all this money.
But for the dance world, that's huge, though.
That's the thing, though, is that there's been lots of companies that tried to make a dance shoe, but they weren't big companies, and the shoe was whack.
Yeah, because they got tap dancing shoes. They got
Not that
like,
shit.
yeah.
no one wants those. I seen those ballroom dancing shoes. That shit look whack.
You can't get a groove on that. Nope. You can't hit a Dougie in that.
But like you said too, you know what I mean? It's like there's gonna be moments where you could just choose why you did it and what to focus on. You know what I mean? And I think that is just empowering in and of itself. So yeah.
That's very cool. Very inspiring.
Congrats,
You guys have
Vietnam.
Vietnamese power.
And Nikes are made in Vietnam.
Yo.
Oh, shout out.
Full circle.
That's true.